Hello, 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 hello. Hey everybody, my name is Jackie from the Financial Literacy Tribe, and today I have a super fun topic to discuss with you guys, okay? Today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite B word, budgets. Budgets. About as fun as a colonoscopy. But it doesn't have to be that way. So hopefully today we can discuss some tips on how you can create your perfect budget. Now, just to clarify, the specific type of budget that we're going to be talking about today, because there are actually different kinds, but the kind that we're going to be talking about is called the zero-based budget. And so basically what zero-based budget means is every single dollar that you get from your paycheck has an assignment. It is accounted for and it is going towards something specific, whether that be paying bills or paying down debt or going towards your savings or your retirement account or paying off that blackmailer that knows what you did last summer. Whatever it is, every single dollar that you get is going towards something, which means that essentially your checking account should go down to zero at some point because every single dollar has gone towards something. That is what a zero-based budget is. So how do you create your perfect budget? Step one. Step one is you write down all of your expenses. Every single thing that you spend money on, whether that be your bills, your car loan, your student loans, any type of debt that you're paying minimums toward, all of your expenses in terms of food, your groceries, your cell phone bill, which I'm sure is extravagant every single month, all the money that you spend on clothes every single month. You want to write down every single one of your expenses. Now, some expenses you'll find are the same every single month. We call those fixed expenses. So things like rent, probably like your student loan amount, your car loan amount, it's going to be exactly the same every single month. So those are your fixed expenses. So those are easy. The ones that may be a little bit trickier are known as your variable expenses. And these are the expenses that you have them every single month, but they're going to kind of change. The amount changes every single month. So an example would be like, I don't know, maybe you have the type of cell phone bill where it's like the more data you use, the higher the actual bill is, or even stuff like your gas and electric, it's gonna vary. It's not gonna be the same every single month. So we call those variable expenses. So how do you know how much to put down for your variable expenses within your budget? Well, friend in my living room, a good rule of thumb is to kind of print out your bank statement or your credit card statement, however it is that you pay that particular bill, and you're going to want to average the past 3 to 6 months. So if I know, for example, that I've been spending around $100 on my gas and electric every single month, then I can put down $100. That's the average of the past 3 to 6 months for me in my house. So that would be an example of how you would kind of calculate what to put down for your variable expenses. Step two, write down all of your monthly income. So that's all of the money that you make on the average month. For most of us, that's pretty simple because most of us have a job. So you just write down how much it is that you make. Even if you're hourly, if you're doing 40 hours a week or whatever it is, you kind of can figure out how much it is on average that you make every single month. If you're salaried, that's even easier because it's the same pretty much every single month. For those of you who have super like inconsistent income, maybe because you're like a contractor or an independent contractor, or maybe you do like a lot of freelance work or something like that. If you have very inconsistent income, then I want you to go back to the thing that we did for step one, and just average out your income. So however much it is that you have made within the past 6 months, just take an average of that number, and that should be the number that you should use in terms of calculating how much is your monthly income that you're bringing in. But again, for the majority of us, it's going to be the amount that you get from your job. Maybe you have like a little side hustle or two, you know, do a little side hustle, whatever. But just make sure you jot down how much it is that you're making on average every single month. Step 3, do the math. I used to hate math. I'm just not a fan of math, but you need it for budgeting and finance and stuff like that. But so basically, you're going to do the math. You're going to want to subtract all of your bills, your expenditures that you're spending every single month. You're going to want to subtract that from your monthly income. Now, the number that you have left over, the money that you have left over at every single month, is called margin. We call that margin, or some people call it disposable income. I like to call it margin. And that is, again, the amount that you have left over every single month after all of your bills have been paid. Hopefully you have some margin. If you don't and stuff is tight, I want you to click the like button and subscribe. And also you can check out my blog at focusedfrugalfab.com. And I actually do have some good resources for you and some good posts that will instruct you as to how to get a little additional margin every single month. So you should check that out if you have time. So with my leftover margin that I have after I paid all my bills at the end of every single month, that leftover money, I can just spend it, right? I can go shopping, buy some new shoes, I don't know, tube top, a nice blouse. I can spend it all, right? No, girlfriend, you cannot spend any of that money. With any money that you have left over after paying all of your bills, your margin, you're going to want to take that money and you're going to split it into 3 very important categories. So the first one is savings. I am a big advocate and a big fan of making sure that you have an emergency savings in place, making sure that you have money saved up for the things that you're expecting to pay for throughout the year. I like saving up for Christmas presents way in advance, saving up for vacations. Savings, it's what you do. So make sure that you're putting a certain amount aside every single month and you are saving that. It is very important. The second thing that you should be paying toward with any margin that you have left over is debt. Maybe you're super lucky and you're one of those people that doesn't have any debt. Wow, good for you. That's awesome. The majority of Americans have some form of debt, whether it be student loans or credit cards or a car loan or something like that. The reality is the majority of us are paying toward something in terms of debt. So with the extra money that you have left over, it is a good idea, even though you're paying your minimums, right? You're doing your due diligence and paying your minimum payments. With any money that you have left over, it is a good idea to make sure that you are paying off debt as quick as possible so that you're not suffering and incurring excessive interest and having to pay ultimately more than you have to. So that's a good idea. And then the third thing that you should do with your money that you have left over, your margin, is put it toward yourself. Everybody should have a small amount of, I call it allowance, but you can call it whatever you want. And that's your money to have fun with. That's your money to go out with friends. That's your money to shop, buy whatever it is that you need, or whatever you want, or give all of your money to Jeff Bezos because I don't go anywhere. I don't leave my house. So me and Amazon are like this. Me and the Amazon guy. But so yeah, so you should be putting a little bit aside, at least so you have a little something in case you need to spend money on yourself and you're not running towards your credit cards. You wouldn't have to because you have money set aside. So that's what you should be doing with your margin every single month. So guys, since we're discussing how to budget, I did just want to show you very quickly And bear with me, I'm going to show you basically what systems it is that you can use. My favorite system, some people prefer pen and paper and doing everything in a notebook or a journal in terms of how it is that they keep track of their budget, and that's perfectly fine if that's something that you enjoy. If not, I'm going to show you how it is that I do my particular budget. Hopefully you'll find this helpful. I'm more of a computer type of person, so I do mine on, it's not Excel, it's like Google Sheets, which is like Google's version of Excel, but I find it to be super helpful. It lives on my drive on my computer, and so I can always access it, and I'll show that to you right now. So guys, this is my computer screen right here, and like I said, this is basically what it is that I use in terms of budgeting. This isn't my exact budget, but I just wanted to have a little example for you guys so you guys can kind of see. As you can see at the very top, I have my monthly income, supposedly. Again, none of this is real. It's just an example for you. And again, as I mentioned, this is on Google Sheets, so it's totally free. You can always access it. All you need is to make a little like Gmail account, which is free, and you will be able to do this on Google Sheets. I put the income at the very top in green, you can see. Job $2,000 a month, side hustle $160 a month. So the total income that I calculated for this particular budget is $2,160 a month in terms of income. And then below that, I have all of my supposed monthly bills. Rent, student loans, credit cards, so on and so forth, and I added it up. So I'm spending every single month $1,760 per month on bills. So when I did the math on that, I did have about $400 left over. And so that's how I kind of split. Remember, we were talking about how to split margin. And so I split mine between savings, debt, and like I said, my personal allowance, which is what it is that I'm allowed to spend. And that's how I know how much to sort of set aside every single month, how much to spend on myself. And again, this is not my actual budget, but it's just sort of an example. And then in terms of systems, what it is that I like to do is I put the days of the month at the very top. And so every single time I pay my rent, for example, I put down that I paid it and how much it is that I paid toward it. And it's a good way for me to keep track because I'm kind of one of those people that will absolutely forget, damn, did I pay that cell phone bill? Did I pay the car insurance? Did I pay it? So at least this way I can kind of track once I paid it, I put it down on the sheet and it automatically saves, which is awesome. You don't have to save it. It automatically saves and it just lives on my Google Drive. And so I find it to be super helpful. So I just wanted to share that with you so that you guys know what system it is that I use in terms of tracking my personal budget. Well, my beautiful friends, that's going to wrap it up for me today. I hope you found this video to be interesting. If you did, do not forget to please click the like button and do not forget to subscribe to my channel so that way you can be notified every single time I have a new video. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, please do not forget to check out my blog. It has really good resources and some really good blog posts that I think you guys would find helpful. I hope you find them helpful. And you can find that at focusedfrugalfab.com. Have a great day. Jackie out.